Do come in, Byron.
Hello, sir. Lovely to see you.
Nice to see you. Do take a seat.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for coming in this morning.
Of course.
As I said, we've had quite a lot of interest in the position sports coaching within the summer school this year. So, no trick questions. Just tell me a little bit about yourself to start with.
Well, I spent my secondary school life at Newhall School. Took my GCSEs there, one of them being sports science, and it was a real passion of mine. And then for sixth form, I went to Felsted School, where I'm at currently, and I'm also studying their Btec sport, which is also sort of developed my passion for sport. I have keen interests in specifically tennis and cricket and rugby. To me, those are my sort of top tier favourite sports and the most interesting.
Okay, so when doing the BTEC sport, have you had to do any assignments that have had you coaching at all?
Funny enough, yes. So the first assignment we did, so that was in year 12. So that was, when was that? October, November time, just before Christmas. We sort of had to go through the components of fitness and doing fitness tests that were specified for those components of fitness, and going through with a member of my class. Sort of, I'd go through coaching with them, and I'd analyse their skills and how they would improve.
Okay, so how did you feel? What strengths did you feel you had when you were put into a coaching situation like that? What strengths do you feel you had?
I feel I'm very sort of level-headed and quite patient when it comes to coaching. I think that's one of the main important thing is to keep it level-headed, because at the end of the day, if you lose your temper, you're gonna demotivate the person you're trying to coach, and they're not going to be that interested. So, and obviously everyone has a bad day or two every once in a while, so you've got to sort of understand that.
Okay, and what areas did you feel that, actually, because it's not as straightforward as it seems, coaching,
No.
You've probably been coached a lot as a tennis player and a cricketer and so on, etc. What areas do you think you want to develop while doing the role this year?
I would definitely say my time management and how I'd go along things, because I've noticed one of my weaknesses when it does come to my coaching is my time management and organisation. So that's those two things are the main two things I wish to work on this summer and to ultimately improve on.
Okay, obviously the role itself was quite structured, which hopefully will help with that, in the sense of you'll have a timetable. A lot of the sporting activities are done in the afternoons, because the children will be in kind of classrooms or so on, unless they're on trips as well. So how do you see this supporting what you want to do? I understand this is a holiday job and something to want to earn some money to get some experience within the coaching, but how will that help you? Where do you want to be in 5 years?
I'd definitely say I want to be in a sports coach position, either public or private school later down the line, whether that be specifically coaching one of my 3 sports or just in general a sports coach or a sports teacher. But by doing this job, I'm learning, because I feel watching people coach I can learn better from. So watching and gaining experience is quite important to me in order to reach that goal.
Yes, okay. So obviously with the summer school, it's probably, and you've mentioned you did quite a wide range of sports and activities.
Yep.
So it won't always be drawing upon your areas of expertise in the sense of sport based. But if you had a choice of maybe supporting one of the programs here as a coach, we said actually, well, we've got a lot of football that goes on. We've got quite a bit of tennis. We've got quite a bit of we might be able to touch rugby. Might well have some swimming that goes on. Certainly some quick cricket. A lot of the pupils coming from overseas won't necessarily have the cricketing knowledge, so actually they're starting from quite a low base technically. What sport do you think you could add the most value to?
I would probably say tennis. I'd probably be able to help a lot with and sort of help improve, just because I'd say tennis, despite me playing the others, is my main sport and best technically where I am. So I'm the best technical when it comes to tennis. So I'm really able to sort of go into detail with people who may not necessarily have the ability, and to work them from low, help them gain the basic knowledge and the basic skills needed to play tennis, and then sort of building that on, adding more detail and adding to their skills, and hopefully make sure they become the best tennis player that they can within the time given.
Brilliant. And so what do you know about the summer school? Tell me what you have researched and you know about the summer school.
Well, obviously I've sort of looked at the school, where it's being held, done a fair bit of research on it, and it was 1564 it was built. It's known as one of the best schools around, both academically and sports-wise. I've taken a bit of research into the coaches that are sort of helping with the summer school, and I really feel that the coaches that are here would able to give me the most experience and the most I could learn from when it comes to their coaching skills.
Okay, and do you feel, obviously the majority of children come a couple of weeks at a time,
Yep.
And then go back off, some only for a week. Are you comfortable with the boarding environment? Have you had any experience of boarding environment and things like that?
Funnily enough, I did so where I'm at now, the school. I do board 3 nights a week, so I am sort of aware with what goes on in boarding houses, how to sort of be in a boarding house, and I find it to be quite a fun experience. So all in all, can't fault boarding.
So you feel you'd be able to advise children who maybe haven't been away from home
How to get through those steps.
How to get through those weeks.
Yeah.
So we said it's quite structured. We've got a good sports program, lots of activities going on. Someone's away ill. You thought you were doing X, you're now doing Y. You've got to get on the bus, go to Cambridge with the trip. How good are you? Do you feel adapt? Have you had any examples where you've had to adapt to change in your life?
Well, fun enough, at my previous job, where I was sort of helping with another summer camp for tennis, we had the same example, same thing happen. So I was taking one group, so a mini red group to myself, but then my colleague fell ill, so I then had to take another group of red ballers, and I think I had about 20 children to myself instead of the original 10 I was meant to have.
Yeah.
And I thought I coped with given the circumstances really well, from doubling my group just through sort of the training I've been given, watching other coaches deal with similar scenarios, and obviously with me, my social skills, and obviously me being quite level-headed, I found it quite good in a sense having those skills, because I was then able to sort of deal with the situation that was given to me and to do it well.
Yeah, you said at the start, didn't you, about staying calm.
Mm.
That's a situation where you certainly have to.
Because it can be quite overwhelming, obviously doubling the amount of students you get given at once.
Yeah, definitely. So similar in a sense. Often you have to, people talk about pressure. You're obviously a sportsman yourself, so you would have to play under pressure, I'm sure, at some point. How do you feel you handle pressurised situations?
I'd say I cope quite well with sort of being under pressure, especially, say, like you said, playing sport. I remember how many match points we were down, maybe 3 or 4 we'd had, and every single time been able to cope. I've been put under stressful situations before and under pressure, and I seem to sort of, like I said, keep level-headed, because the skill of mine, and just sort of be able to come out on top of the being under pressure.
Okay, and then hopefully most of the time you'll have support. Well, you will have support networks around you. You're not being left to run the show, but you might have to make. Have you any examples of where you've made an important decision that's had a positive impact on someone or yourself?
An important decision on myself. Ooh. I'd definitely say an important decision. There was one scenario where I was obviously still doing I was at my last job coaching, like what I'm applying for here, and there was a certain student who I had to sort of take away because I didn't feel comfortable with the situation that they were in. It was a bit fickle. We had someone come and try and pick them up, and they weren't known to us, so obviously with the safeguarding issues, we couldn't actually release them to the child without the parents' confirmation. So my decision was that I couldn't let them go with the child, let the child go with them until I had proper confirmation from the parent that was that person picking them up. So I'd say that's definitely one of the most important decisions I've had to make.
Absolutely, yeah, essential. Safeguarding obviously is going to be one of our that we'll put a bit of training with that for those that get the job.
Yeah.
Is there any questions for me at this stage?
No, not really. I'm just going to ask what would the hours be like? So is there, obviously you mentioned set structure. Is there, what would it be? So there are classes in the morning and then sports in the afternoon?
Yeah. Generally speaking, with our sports team, obviously we've got the pupils here at all times. Okay. But during the morning, if they're at lessons with teachers rather than the sports coaches, you'll have a bit of free time within that morning. Cool. It may be setting up, getting ready. There might be meetings and so on. Yeah. Most of the kind of, I suppose, contact time is in the afternoon. And then support with the boarding a little bit in the evening. So it is, it's not a 9 to 5 in a sense, but it might be a 1 till 4 and then a 7 till 9 or something. Cool. Obviously there's things like discos to help out with, and actually the sports staff tend to be quite good with the pastoral side as well. So obviously accommodation on site for those coaches, so that makes hopefully life quite easy.
Sounds awesome.
Excellent. Okay, thanks very much. And we'll be in touch.
Lovely, thank you.